Good morning. It's just before 7 a.m. here in Las Vegas, and it's time for the WagerTalk opening line report / morning movers. We still haven't come together with a perfect name for the daily podcast. Nonetheless, quick hitters. Let's talk about where the markets are moving and why they're moving in that direction. First thing on Monday morning. Of course, we're going to start in the association NBA action Monday night, Boston and Cleveland. Look, the Celtics have been clear favorites in the series. They're clear favorites game after game. And tonight, they were open to 8. Bet up to 8.5, 9, even though it's the Cavs coming off the loss in game number 3. Boston didn't bring their A game. Cavs coming off the game 3 loss. Boston didn't play great that game. They still won by 13. The market's saying the Celtics are clearly primed to take care of business tonight. The money's showing for Boston, and the leading indicator books, the sharper books, those are the ones at 9. The 8.5s aren't there yet necessarily with the books that cater to recreational bettors. So sharp money for Boston today. Total sharp money for the under. The total opened 209.5 in that range. We're looking at 207 this morning. So we've seen under money. We've seen Celtics money for game 4 tonight. OKC and Dallas. Dallas open -2, -2.5. It's been nothing but Thunder money since then. Dallas still a 1/1.5 point favorite. Total, little bit of money for the under in that ball game. And of course, the OKC money, that has been a competitive series. Unlike Boston, Cleveland, which the markets don't expect to be competitive, OKC Dallas is a series that the markets expect to be competitive. That's why we're seeing zigzag when it comes to how the lines are being set and where the money's coming between the Thunder and the Mavs. That, and of course, Luka's injury when he came out of the game the other day after the win and said, every part of my body hurts. That was when the money started coming for OKC. It's not crazy. -1, -1.5 for Dallas still. But we have seen Thunder money, and we have seen a little bit of under money in that ball game. Taking a look ahead to Tuesday's games, where the numbers have opened and where they're moving. Knicks and the Pacers. Knicks open anywhere from -1.5 to -3, depending on the book. They've settled in at 2.5. We're not going to call that a move. We're going to track the moves from the 2.5, and that's where the market is moving, not the initial moves when one book sets at 1.5 and another book sets at 3, and the markets come together. So let's call Knicks 2.5, 216.5 / 217 against Indiana. And again, not a lot of movement on that just yet, but of course, just open. And of course, T-Wolves and the Nuggets. Denver -4 / 4.5 in game number 5 after they've evened the series, a series where the home team hasn't won a game yet. 205.5, the total 205s in some spots, 206 in others. Opened a little bit higher. There were 207s at the open, and there's clearly been some under money for Minnesota and Denver. When we look at the series prices and where they're sitting right now, Nuggets back to favorites. After they were down 0-2 against Minnesota, they were pretty big dogs. Now we're looking at Denver -170, -180. Nuggets have turned it around against the T-Wolves, much to my chagrin. Yesterday, that was a loser for me in the NBA. The NBA has been real good, but not that game, unfortunately. Pacers and the Knicks. Indiana is now favored in the series, -130, -140. I'm seeing, in that range. If you want the Knicks, after they've lost back-to-back games, get them at +120 right now if you shop around. Dallas, now a 2-1 favorite over the Thunder. And Boston, well, yeah, you got to lay anywhere. Look, and this is one where you shop around. You can lay 42 to win $1. You can lay 60 to win $1. You can lay 80 to win $1. Up to you. Shop around for the best of the number. Obviously, there's an enormous difference between one book and another book especially when it comes to future prices. If ever there's a situation that you got to shop around for the best number, it doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is click on one app and then click on another app. Or look at the WagerTalk live odds screen, and you can see which app you want to open. But the concept of looking for the best number before you make your bet, that's a huge difference between recreational bettors and people who take it a little bit more seriously. If you're taking this seriously, open up more accounts and get all the opportunities that you have without ever having to buy a half point. All right, I'm not going to lecture anyone, but I am going to talk about what's going on. And first, I want to shout out to you guys. Wow. I mean, the response to this show has been great. I really appreciate all the likes. I really appreciate all the follows. More than 153,000 of you now following the WagerTalk YouTube channel. It's like the number goes up every day. And of course, we really appreciate all the comments, questions. I'll get back in to the opening line report / morning market move / opening moves, whatever we're calling it. I get into the comments and check back. I'll answer your questions. I'll reply to your comments. We really appreciate those thumbs up and the comments and the likes and the follows. Thank you. I also want to let you guys know, look, we got a really good deal right now if you're into MLB and you want to get MLB through the All-Star break. Get every play, every day in MLB. It's about $5 a day. $295 between now and the All-Star break. And I'm telling you, this is my sweet season in baseball. I like May. I like June. Year in, year out. It's been as good a stretch for me in MLB. And it makes sense. As basketball winds down, the focus comes towards baseball. You're dreaming about baseball instead of dreaming about basketball. And the baseball in general, you ask me what's my best month, I'll say June. You know, I like MLB in June. And the streaks start to roll. But whatever. If you're interested, get on board right now. Great deal. Visit my page, wt.buzz/TC. You can take advantage of this $295 offer to get every play. And that's the thing. It's worth noting. There's no bait and switch here. There's no BS. There's no, well, you buy this, but you don't get the big plays. Every play, every day. We're a reputable company. That's how we do business. Let's talk MLB for today. Talk about where the money's flowing and why the money is flowing in that direction. And normally around this time of the day, the MLB betting board is lit up like a Christmas tree when you look up like the WagerTalk live odds screen. Of course, the reason we use that expression is because the number, the colors behind it show when the lines have moved. So you can tell what moved in the last 2 minutes, what moved in the last 5 minutes, what moved in the last 10, 20, half hour, etc., etc. And today it's a little bit modest in that regard. Let me tell you what I'm seeing so far in terms of the MLB betting marketplace right now. We are seeing, no surprise, a little bit of Phillies money. Phillies are playing good ball. They're coming off a loss yesterday. I think they have the best record in baseball, and they're 16-3 in the last 19 games. They're only short chalk against the Mets. We've seen a little bit of Phillies money. We've seen a little bit of over money. The 7.5's wiped out for Phillies and the Mets. It's now 8 juice to the under. And again, little bits. We're not talking about huge bets. A little bit of Brewers money coming this morning. They were minus 125, minus 130 in that range. Now I'm seeing minus 140, minus 150 for Milwaukee. We're looking at that WagerTalk live odds screen. Over money for the Dodgers and the Giants. That's one that stands out. That was 7 last night. There were a couple of 7.5 juice to the under. Now we're 7.5 juice to the over, and or 8s starting to pop up for Dodgers and Giants. Again, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, what's moving and why? And of course, the Dodgers lineup. I'm not surprised at all that we see over money for that. And Yamamoto, as far as good as his stuff is, the consistency hasn't been there yet. So he's had his share of ups and downs. Not surprised, again, that we're seeing some over money for that ball game. Let me get a sip. I'm a tea guy. Tea every morning. That's what I'm drinking over here. The coffee makes me jumpy. The tea eases me into the day properly. A little bit of Cleveland money. Guardians taking money against the Rangers. And again, that opened minus 120. Now it's basically a pick'em for Texas. So support for Cleveland on the road in that one. A little bit of Oakland money against Houston. The markets, Aaron Getty said, really struggled. And Stripling got absolutely lit up by this team last week. They're expecting perhaps a little bit of a bounce back. Not heavy money. Again, a little bit of Astros money coming in. Last but not least, worth noting, Angels money. I haven't been able to say that a whole lot this year, but there is money coming against a St. Louis. The Cardinals have underachieved. Their pitching's no good. They're not hitting. I guess there's someone out there that thinks the LA Angels is a good bet today. Not necessarily this better. There you have it. That's what's going on in the sports betting world for the sports that I'm working on right now here in May. Have a great Monday. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games, and best of luck.